Heyo guys, girls, and everyone in between. This is Rebellious Pastry here, and would you like to introduce yourself to those people who have never met you before in their lives?
Um, my name is you can just call me King. I am autistic and I have a shit ton of special interests like history, vexillology, geography, cartography, writing shit, etc.
Alright, yeah, wait. I need to pull up the question sheet, not the, um, freaking, um, what is it called? Not the rule sheet again. Oh man. The rule sheet is important, but not what I need to be reading off right now. Oh man. But anyways, um so my only announcement I'm going to be saying for now is or two is I'm not going to get the April Fool's Day video done on time, one, and two, sorry for the fact that I said there's not going to be a show today, and then we end up having a show today. So, um, yeah. Anyways, anyways, um, I'm gonna go find my question sheet.
That's all right.
What? All right.
That's all right.
And then yeah. So can you go ahead and please, um, do you have like a YouTube or anything, or no?
Yes, I have a YouTube.
So go ahead and send it to me so I can put it in chat.
All right, let me just open the silly little app. Check, copy link. Also, if you're wondering why occasionally I do random accents for some reason, in the most random times, because I sometimes do British accents a lot, I just go from regular American average Joe to I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George. This is Mummy Pig, and this is Daddy Pig.
But yeah, anyways, this is King Ghost's. What? How do you say the last part of your name that I almost never say?
Zaclay.
Ziclay.
Zaclay the Fourth. The reason I named my thingamabob that is because I used to be very interested in like ghosts, the paranormal. So I made my OC, which apparently he's the king of all ghosts. He's just some ghost with a crown or something.
But yeah.
And I modeled and I made the Discord account after him, I believe.
But yeah, anyways, so what are your pronouns? What are your pronouns for everyone watching?
I go by he, him, though you can also call me a they, them.
Yeah, I just like people to go ahead and like know what the guest's pronouns are, just because like, what if someone like someone might think that oh man, I'm gonna have to take down that one comment, but yeah.
What one comment?
All right. Let's see here. Remove. Anyways, it was an inappropriate comment about someone we do not mention on the channel. But anyways, what hobby am I going to be interviewing you for today?
I mean, there's a lot of hobbies. There's like gaming and
think about
since I guess you already like since you probably heard of it, writing
/ world building.
Yes.
I meant to go ahead and say that I'm gonna technically put your hobby into world building because I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
that's
more
good.
accurate than writing. I was gonna
Yes.
tell you with that with pre-stream, then like my mic didn't work and I thought there wasn't gonna be a show, so therefore I wasn't able to go ahead and tell you. But yeah, anyways, so you're going to be talking about world building, specifically
Yeah.
your little like lore thingy.
Yes. Goober cannon.
Um, so how long have you been doing? How long have you been world building? Period.
I mean, Goober cannon as a series started. Hold on, let me look at my DeviantArt page. Where's the map? Where's the map? Where's the map? Where's the
Also,
fuck?
you can go
Uh,
ahead and stick your DeviantArt in the
so,
DMs as well, so that people can check you out from Pastry. I didn't necessarily mean like you could just share your YouTube.
so Goober cannon began on January 4th, 2024, but it didn't necessarily start out as world building. I started it out as, maybe like it'd be a neat idea to grab all my friends, give them countries, and slap them on a continent.
Well,
And then what proceeded to happen around like February, I believe, I continued Goober Cannon. And then actually, no, it was okay. January 10th, be, I can't speak words. Diggity dang that mouth of mine. Anyways, January 10th, I actually began world building. Though, like, before that, I did do, like, a maritime border map and military insignia thing. So, like, and also, if you ever do perhaps decide to go to my account,
can you go ahead and
my,
send me a link to your DeviantArt?
Yes,
Thank you.
my,
Unless you
I think
don't,
there's
unless you
there's
don't
currently
want,
an error going on.
unless you
Pastry, I'm sorry, there's an error going on with DeviantArt. I cannot go onto my profile because of a 403 error.
Okay. Okay, but yeah.
It'll most likely be resolved in a couple minutes.
Alrighty, so let me go ahead and ask you this question. Did you do any like writing slash world building stuff before Goober Cannon, or is Goober Cannon your first time?
I mean, I did do like a couple offhand projects. A lot of them sucked, but like Goober Cannon is like the first one that I've actually, cared about.
So can you go ahead
If
and give background on the ones you did before Goober Cannon? And
oh,
when you
so I
started
guess
them?
my first project um my first project was a fan fiction. Uh uh so do you know alphabet lore?
I do, but I would
I
like you
used to be
to
in
explain. I would like to explain you to
it used to
explain it for
be
people who don't know.
Alphabet Lore is this series created by this guy named Mike Salcedo, which was originally created as animation exercises, which ended up with lore. It was popular from I'm pretty sure, like, very late 2021 to, like, I'm pretty sure 2022. There's, like, a spin-off called Number Lore, but I used to be in the community. And, I was and still am very interested in history. So I thought it was an unironically good idea to write a fan fiction where alphabet lore takes place in World War II. And I wrote it on Wattpad. Nothing too bad goes on. It's just like World War II events, but it's the characters are just replaced by letters. And then there was this other one. There was this other one on Wattpad, which I never finished. But from what I remember, it was about some guy who lost his friend in a hurricane, went to a bar and noticed a strange guy with a gun. I never finished it past that.
Fair enough.
Those are the only two that I exactly remember.
So, like, what year did you start all of this?
Like early 2022.
But yeah,
I think.
so you've been world building since 2022, correct?
Yeah, I think Letters of World War II, my first project, I believe it was created around like I think September or November of 2022. Well, isn't exactly early, but I just might be misremembering.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that all right. Hey A24 JAK, can you go ahead and cool it on the emotes for a little bit? Thank you. Please chill it on the emotes for a little bit.
The reason why there's a bunch of people like Rascal, Cat, and Compact and Brody, I sent the stream thing to like servers like the Gooba Cannon server,
But
the like,
yeah, I don't want to pay too much attention. But hey, to like the behavior in the chat, because that's not what this show is about. But basically, like, before we get too far along, if you guys have any questions that you have for King Ghost about Goober Cannon or any of his other lores, please go ahead and put them in the comments and put a donut emote or at Rebellious Pastry at the end, so that you know that, so that I know that you're talking to me, not like anyone else, not each other, because
so
I don't want to read in the middle of. I don't want to.
Okay.
Let me finish what I was saying.
All right.
So that we know that you're talking to us, not each other. But yeah.
All right.
Anyways, we do still moderate everything that is said in the chat, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna at the end of like the preset questions, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the questions from the chat. Anyways.
All right.
What were you saying?
So I couldn't exactly get the DeviantArt thing because of the 403 thing, but I have the Discord server, which you could probably access the actual Gooba Cannon thing with Bob's from.
Okay. But yeah, I'm not gonna put the invite link in the chat just because, like, yeah. Because it's for like more social media stuff and less like servers. But yeah. Anyways.
All right. Okay. I am now able to go on DeviantArt.
Alrighty. Can we go ahead and continue on with the questions, please?
Oh, I sent the DeviantArt link, and yes.
Alrighty. So, how did you find world building as a concept?
So, world building is a concept. Like, I didn't know like what world building exactly was until like until I looked at a TV tropes website, and this is like adding stuff to your world. This is neat. So I decided to do that with Goober Cannon.
And Goober Cannon is your world build, right?
Yes.
Your current one. And then,
yes.
Why are you interested in world building / why do you do it?
I mean, world building, you like add stuff to the world that's like new and stuff like that. And also, you could probably get a bunch of interesting things from world building.
But that doesn't answer the question of why you are personally into world building.
Oh, So why I'm personally into world building, I think it's neat, to be honest. It's pretty cool.
Like, is it kind of like more of a like you have complete control over everything?
I mean, it's not like power. It's not about like power. It's about like writing and like building everything in this universe.
Let's
Like
see.
building it all enough to where you can at least get somewhat of a coherent story.
I was about to leave Discord. Whoops. Anyways, but yeah. So you like to go ahead and write. Um. But yeah. Let's see here. The regular batch is wondering why everyone's sending so many emotes. But anyways, wait. Why did not send the DVR link? Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on with the show.
Yes. Yes,
So
yes.
let's see here. So you got interested in it because you like writing?
Yeah.
Any other reason?
I mean, a reason, like, I like creativity. I like being creative and stuff like that. So when I like created Gooba Cannon, the original idea was like, ooh, what if I got my friends and gave them countries, and ooh, I slapped them on a continent and I write lore. And
Oh man, lore. We love lore.
and well, it turned into what we currently have.
Cool. But yeah, we'll be able to talk more about it later on, but I want to go ahead and
Yes.
go into the whole um logistics of lore building and like think about this. Like we're talking about like the hobby of world building on this
Yes.
show mostly. But yeah. So how much does it cost to go ahead and do world building? Yes, I'm gonna make you include the cost of whatever the fuck you use. Like if you use any websites for it, I make you include the
Don't
cost of your computer. I basically
I
make
I mean, like creativity, you can't put a price on creativity and ideas. But if we're talking like actual logistics, what I use Sony Sketch, it was removed from the App Store, but you can get it through APKs for free, but it's best you trust the right APKs because other ones can give you viruses.
so and
And all,
then are so the app is free?
yes. I've also had someone else do a thing for Goober Cannon. His name is Radical Logos. YouTube might know him as Compact OSM.
Which is currently in our chat. um
Yes.
and then so yeah, is it more of like a group effort?
I mean, occasionally, yes, but other times, no.
Fair enough. And then yeah, and then how much approximately does it cost for your computer or whatever you use
Oh,
for
I
your
don't use
lore?
a computer. I use a phone.
So how much does your phone cost approximately?
It's an LG V60 Think, which was one of LG's last phones to ever be made before they stopped making them. So the LG V60 Thinks, you're actually still able to buy them. It's just they're forever gone after LG runs out of them. So you could probably get an LG V60 for maybe like a good 140, 200.
That's about the price of my phone, but that's beside the point. And you don't necessarily have to get like this exact phone to go ahead and world build. You could do
Yeah,
it on a computer for crying out loud. Um,
yeah.
and then like, do you use any like world building like websites or anything?
No,
Have you considered using them in the future?
no,
No. So you just like to go ahead and like hand draw everything
yes.
on what app?
And also occasionally some lore ideas are actually written by some friends. For example, like some lore ideas like I think there was this one where one of the nations was a tech capital. I think it was either written by Compact OSM or the cat that eats rice, who's also in our chat today.
Wow, we have all the cast here, I guess. Almost all the cast.
Yeah,
Um,
almost all the cast. The only two that aren't here are some other friends.
yep, the ones who shall not be named for off the
Yes.
channel reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Yep. But anyways, oh man, but yeah, I might get like if someone else wants on the show, like next season sometime, with the to talk about their side of Goober Canon, I'd allow that. Because it would technically still be world building from like a different person's perspective, but yeah. And then um your phone is pretty much a one cost until it breaks, right?
No, it isn't one cost, because you can actually still buy them.
No, I'm saying so. Like, here's what I am calling a one cost versus something that you have to keep on paying for. So like if you have like a hobby that requires um a subscription, like if you use Adobe Animate and you're an animator, or yeah, that's what I mean by something that you keep on paying for.
Is so like one cost is something you don't have to pay for.
One cost is basically when you go ahead and like buy. So a an example of like one cost would be like if let's say you buy a computer, you don't have to re-buy the computer like every week. Or at
Yes,
least I'd hope not. And then
yes.
one
I,
cost
you
but then
continue.
like things that you would have to keep on paying for would be stuff like subscriptions, like if you were watching Netflix, um you'd have to keep on buying, or if your hobby was like watching Netflix, which I would try to avoid as a hobby because it seems like you're more of like in enjoying other people's hobbies and jobs, but you get what I mean, right?
Yes, I get what you mean.
But yeah, anyways, so you would say this is a pretty one cost hobby, right?
Yes, one cost hobby. Because if it were a like multiple cost thing, I'd end up broke and drowning in phones most likely.
But yeah, I do believe that there's probably some more advanced world building stuff that you can go ahead and
Yeah,
get in the future if that's what you want. But yeah.
I mean I'm fine with what I currently have.
Yep. So I would say with how you do it, I would say it's a one cost hobby. It's
Yes.
just I want to go ahead and I'm just imagining you just like sitting there with like a ton of phones you bought because you took me to literally. But yeah, anyways, with my show. But yeah, anyways, um um And then, do you currently make money off of Goober Cannon?
No,
And are you ever planning on to make any money off of Goober
no.
Cannon? No?
Yeah, I do not plan on making money off Goober Cannon. And also, funny story: two people have actually reached out to me, saying that they will like adopt Goober Cannon. Not exactly like adopt for money. Basically, it turns out there was a massive NFT scam going on DeviantArt in which people would DM you saying they could use your art in a mural or a muse, and if you accepted, they would steal your art, put it on like something like OpenSea as NFTs, and everything you drew would be owned by them. Two of these scammers have reached out to me saying that if I let them use my art in a mural, they would pay me back a couple $100. I declined twice.
Wow. But yeah, anyways, let's see. Back to the questions. So
All right.
this is like one that tends to be like the big like question of like if someone wants to start a hobby or not, how but how much time a week do you or how much time a week approximately do you spend on Goober Cannon? And when I mean by like spend on Goober Cannon, I mean like everything that has to do with Goober Cannon.
I
Like
mean, usually I spend maybe like a couple hours or two doing stuff related on Goober Cannon.
a week, a few hours a week.
Yes. No, like a few hours almost every like day.
So a few hours a day. So, would you say about 3 a day?
Yes, about like 3.
So 3 a day times 7 days. Let me pull up a calendar. 7 times 3. So about 21 hours a week.
Yes.
That seems like a good bit. Also, are you gonna put this show on Goober Cannon's announcements?
Yes, I
Since
have.
alrighty. Anyways, sorry, I got like sidetracked by like the Goober Cannon server. Anyways, so and then, do you have any plans to ever make money off of Goober Cannon?
No.
May I ask you why?
I mean, I am not like the type of person to want money off of something, and Goober Cannon, I'm fine if anyone decides to adopt it as like a show, a movie, or comic, which I doubt, and decides to give me money, I probably would accept. Like, I really don't care about the money, so I could accept. I couldn't. I could not. I mean, like, all I really care about Goober Cannon is like if it's good, if lore building is fine, and if it's popular.
Fair enough. Like, and it's very important to remember that like not all hobbies have to necessarily be like a job one day. I just like to ask
Yeah,
because like it's like some people do want to turn their hobbies into jobs and other people don't.
yeah,
Like I'd like if I made money off of what I did on pastry, I'd be happy, but it's not the reason why I do it, obviously. And then yeah, oh, I got sidetracked and accidentally asked the money question like twice. Anyways, so how easy is it to have other hobbies?
I mean, if it's something that's like minuscule, like maybe like writing or gaming, I mean, wait, what was your question again?
So like how easy is it to have other hobbies? What I mean by this
I mean,
question,
it's
continue.
pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
But yeah, they're like the reason why I have this question is because like there's some hobbies that are so time consuming to where like it'd be impossible to have other hobbies such as like almost any
Yeah.
sport.
Yes.
And then is it easy to work with others in your opinion when it comes to world building?
Yes. It is very easy.
I'd say it depends on like who you're with. But then again it's your show, so whatever you say goes as far as like the answer goes. So you say that it's easy to work with others?
Yes, and I have before. In fact, I'm Compact OSM, who is I still believe in the chat. He has actually written lore for Goober Cannon before, and he's actually posted something about Goober Cannon. So, in Goober Cannon, there are 11 countries. So the countries from south to north are, can I say this?
Yes.
It's He Who Shall Not Be Named country.
That I may or may not be taking over one day.
Yeah! Mandriva, owned by, let's just call him, Mr. M.
Alright.
Gooberstan, owned by both Compact OSM and Cat That Eats Rice. KWK, acronym for King's Wacky Kingdom, owned by me. Sedenia, owned by Compact. Empire of Howitzer, owned by a friend who isn't exactly involved in Goober Cannon. His name is The Rack. None of you know him except for maybe A24 Jack or Slug. Skawaji, owned by Cat That Eats Rice. Windowland, owned by, let's call them Mr. W. Sleep Swirl, owned by Roscoe the Weirdo. The Juno Republic, owned by Jondin, Compact OSM's brother. Kaniawa Ida, owned by Cat That Eats Rice. And the Komon Isles, owned by Compact OSM.
Wow, so multiple people, so like multiple countries are owned by the same people in this lore. I did not know that.
Yes.
But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and reel it into into the like I'm gonna ask you more plot related questions later on, but I want to go ahead.
Excuse me, Pastry.
Yes.
Are you able to show the map on the stream?
Just send me,
if I send it to you.
Just send me an image and then I'll go ahead and stick it up where I have this thumbnail. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish the preset questions before we get into too heavy into the lore stuff.
Also, I also kind of forgot to mention, not only is there like regular border maps, there's also maritime border maps for like sea borders. I can also send you the region map, which has regions and cities.
But yeah, anyways, can we go ahead and continue on with the preset questions?
Yes.
So
also, one last thing, if that's fine.
Yep.
Are you able to stick all 3 maps on, or are you only going to choose one?
I can stick on as many images as I want.
Yeah. Pick up all 3, I guess.
But yeah, I'm gonna put them up after we're done with the preset questions. Just because I want to go ahead and give like the whole point of this show is to have people like question if they want to go ahead and do something like this in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would you consider world building a social hobby?
I mean, if you are working with other people like Compact OSM, Cat That Eats Rice, sometimes Mr. M, but we don't really talk about him on this channel because off-channel reasons.
Mm, or
But we
he's been on the show, but he's permanently banned.
but Mr. M isn't involved in Goober Cannon anymore because we banned him and he got really mad.
Yeah.
He got really mad after we all simultaneously blocked him, and he created his own basically knockoff of Goober Cannon,
But yeah,
which we'll just
can we
call.
not get into this too much? Thank
I
you.
won't say the actual name, but let's just call it Wrong South.
Oh man.
You can probably piece things together from that name.
Yeah. Anyways, so you say that it is an extremely social hobby.
Like, okay, yes, when you're working with other people for world building, yes, then it is a social hobby.
But if you keep it to yourself, then it's not a social hobby.
Yeah.
So how has Goober Cannon helped you? And
I mean,
I know this is a
like,
very broad question, but feel free to go
Goober
ahead and
Cannon.
put, or let me go ahead and explain. I know this question can be taken in multiple directions, and you can go ahead and take it in every direction you can think of.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So Goober Cannon hasn't really helped with like anything much except for like maybe like clutching boredom or something. Sometimes when I'm bored, I just make a Goober Cannon post, write lore, and call it a day.
But yeah, so you say, so it hasn't really helped you like mentally at all?
No.
It hasn't helped you physically?
I mean, it does help me. It does help me physically occasionally, like when I'm bored or I need to get some stuff in, I just start like typing entire like paragraphs about what happens in the lore, upload it to DeviantArt, and also draw a picture for it. Even though, like, if you're on the DeviantArt right now, a lot of them look very simple, like just some guys with circle tool heads, bodies, and faces and hair. Trust me, it takes a long time to make those.
I can believe it. But yeah. So what are the downsides to Goober Cannon?
There's no downsides.
That's a lie and a half. Everything has a downside.
Like, if I had to be completely honest, there isn't a downside to Goober Cannon. The only downside I could think of is Mr. M and Mr. W having nations and having had written lore on it before. But Mr. M most likely won't have a nation for long. I'm not sure about Mr. W, though.
Oh, man.
Even though Mr. W is involved, he hasn't really done anything bad to me in general. So I guess he could probably stay. Though, if I do feel like it, though from association, I could crush them.
But yeah, I thought you already were going to go ahead and create lore for taking out Mr. M. As it
yes,
was.
There is lore, and it involves you.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, so you're saying that the downsides to your hobby is like not interpersonal, but like inter-realm disputes.
Yeah. And occasionally like the drama or two.
People not cooperating with each other is your downside.
Yes.
Which, not to make fun of you too much, but it kind of makes you lie a little bit about like how is it easy to work with others, because technically that
Yeah,
answer would be
but
no.
like so drama doesn't happen much, but when it does happen, it's not the greatest.
Mm. So like
Like
inner
that one
realm.
time Mr. got banned and then he created Wrong South. I mean, no, that okay. I just realized I screwed up the name for Wrong South. From now on, I'll be calling it False South.
Fair enough. And then and then here's the final question.
Yes.
Would you recommend like a world building slash writing to like others? Like, would you recommend this hobby to others?
Yeah.
Like, if someone
Yeah.
wanted to go ahead and
I would. I would absolutely recommend this hobby to others.
may I ask
Except for
why?
people who don't know how to do it well. This is targeted towards you, Mr. M.
But yeah,
Anyways,
wait, but then again, like, doesn't everything take practice? I know, like, so
yeah.
what I'm gonna say is, like, you recommend it towards people who want to do it for the right reason, not just to rip off something else.
Yeah.
Yep. So you
Also,
basically continue.
I can safely say, like, so you know how False South exists?
Yep.
There's a little saying which goes something like, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
I think I told you that. I told you that.
Yes, but I've heard of it before you.
Yeah, yeah, you were just talking about
And
it off air.
Mr. M has been and somewhat still is a fan of Goober Cannon.
Yeah. Oh man, just wait until the future. Just wait until
around the same time False South was created, Mr. M commented on one of my posts, like in which Mr. M and Mr. W in canon agreed to invade Hallenser. So like Mr. M was like, hell yeah, this is better than the Republic of Dissonance? I forgot which word it was. Let me just go check my DeviantArt. It's somewhere.
Hey, hey A2.
Incompetent.
Hey
It's incompetent.
A24JAK. If you go ahead and spam out more emotes, I'm gonna temporarily time you out.
Also, by the way, I know who he is. If there's someone named Mr. Slug or Roblox with friends or whatever on here, that's Mr. Slug. And A24Jack, or as I call him, Mr. Zombie / Mr. Grasshopper, he's his brother.
Alright. Chill it on the emotes, please. Thank you. Anyways, sorry I got distracted.
Zombies like this.
The emotes were just annoying. But yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick up the maps.
Alright.
And basically, like, I'm gonna have you explain. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, after things want to cooperate with me.
Alright.
But yeah. Just give me a second.
I'm fine, that's good.
Let's see. Imagine if I just have like 5 of the same image up on accident. I'll figure that out later. Alright. I'm gonna import image. Let's see. I normally don't have these kind of issues. But yeah. let's see. What kind of files are these? Are these like MP3s? Not MP3s. What the hell?
They are PNGs.
PNGs. Why did I say MP3s? These aren't audio at all.
I've heard of this little. Sorry if I get sidetracked, but I've heard of this little audio thing in which you like plug an image to it and it turns it into audio. But all right, back to what we were talking about.
Anyways, I'm just let's see here. I'm gonna try and see if I can access these from somewhere else so I can actually import them in. These normally is not an issue I have, but today my computer's like me. Anyways, continue.
Oh, I wasn't really saying anything.
Yeah, I'm saying like continue, like let's see here.
Like continue live speaking?
Yep. About Goober Cannon.
So, like, Goober Cannon. So, basically, the lore started out. The first actual bit of lore happened in which Rascal had some, commotion, as I like to word it, with Mr. M. And Mr. F. And what happened? So, I decided to write in lore for this. Mr. M's nation and Rascal's nation, Mandriva and Sleepswell, they've actually been rivals since their inception. And it doesn't look like things are going to calm down soon. And then a military incident happened in which one of Sleepswell's old Navy vessels exploded in Mandrivan waters.
Oh, wow. Wow. But yeah, what is the very beginning of the Mandriva? Like, I would like to hear the once upon a time in a land far away. Kind of.
Oh yeah, I've actually written the once upon a time part for the actual, like, rivalry. So, it all started, okay, is it okay if I read the entire thing?
Of course.
It all started out in 1884 when Sleepswell decided to colonize the region of Relotia and the area in which what would later become modern-day Mandriva, and discovered resources like oil, iron, and steel. In 1905, the Relasian peoples ended up revolting against the EP Sleepies, that is the demonym for Sleepswell. So if there's like a person from
EP Sleepies, I find that
so if you like came across someone from Sleepswell, you'd call them an EP Sleepy.
So would I be considered an EP Sleepy?
Yes.
Continue.
So the Relasian peoples ended up revolting against the EP Sleepies and forming the Provisional Republic of Relasia. In the first few years of its existence, it was recognized by everyone except for Sleepswell. And then in 1934, Sleepswell finally recognized the Grand Republic of the Mandriva Meadows as a legitimate country. However, Sleepswell would then proceed to despise Mandriva for the rest of its existence. Tensions continued to boil between the two, and multiple incidents would happen between the two, nearly igniting wars left and right, and it almost nearly led to a total invasion. When on a presidential visit to Boacosa, multiple Mandrivan citizens who were also there to visit Sleepswell went missing in the Boacosa jungle. However, the only real conflicts which ever happened were small skirmishes. The tensions worsened even more when a man by the name of Mr. MS assumed power in Mandriva and proceeded to begin rapid militarization, messed with the Constitution, and made it so he would have power until death. And weeks later, Rascal Rapscallion was elected president of Sleepswell and did absolutely nothing wrong. And weeks later, on another presidential visit, Mr. MS would drunkenly confront Rapscallion in a bar and began an argument, which ended up with Rapscallion being sucker punched and sent to the hospital, in which she recovered. Rapscallion would go on to condemn Mr. M for the attack and said, "If it happens again, next time I see that man, I would have sent him to hospital." Tensions yet again boiled even more in 2023, which was about the first post, in which a ship carrying multiple EP Sleepy sailors was being sailed to the KWK city of Leonidas. And it ended up being shot and blown up by Mandriva because it had drifted too far into Mandrivan waters. However, no official statement was made by either side about this. These two nations absolutely despise each other, and most likely no calming down will ever happen soon. That was a lot. That was a mouthful.
I get it. But yeah, I'm trying to, like, for whatever reason, like, let's see. For whatever reason, this, they don't, alright, like, Streamlabs does not like your files. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. But I use PNGs for everything else. Let's see. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I could probably try to turn them into JPEGs if you want.
The thing is that my PNGs work just fine. Whatever.
Mine don't want to work, apparently.
Apparently. But anyways, so how much of the lore have been created because people got into arguments, and how much of the lore got created just based off of, like, general, like, your genuine-ish interest?
I mean, the only, like, lore about maybe, you could say, like, commotion would probably be the whole Mandriva Sleepswell rivalry. And also the fact that Mandriva is literally hated by everyone else on the continent.
And, like, so...
The only other nation the only other nation to have good relations with Mandriva is the KWK. However, these relations are very thin, and for the sake of having no enemies. At any moment, these relations could snap and war.
What? I don't understand why. I don't know. I'm gonna. Let's see here. Anyways, so, like, what? So, like, how long did it take for you to write up all this lore?
Not pretty long.
So, like, days?
I mean, Goober Cannon has been running for about, like 3 months or so.
Wow, for whatever reason, I thought it was an older lore.
It's still running, and it began in, like, January. The actual lore part began in January, but I believe the first Goober Cannon post, which was the map, began on, like, New Year's 2024, I think.
Let's see. Alright, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Anyways, when we're still here, the Be Right Back was just something but yeah, anyway.
Alright.
I guess I'll put it in, anyways, I'll figure it out, but, anyways, so, out of all the countries, which one do you think has the best like design as far as the map goes?
I mean, like, flag
A flag,
wise,
yep.
I mean, the best flag design, best flag design would probably either have to be something like KWK, Koman, or Sleep Swirl. Also, the reason why I think KWK's flag is good, I'm not biased towards myself. Slug actually designed the flag and wrote a lot of lore for the KWK. I think, like, design-wise, KWK, Sleep Swirl, and Koman are pretty good. So are places like Juno, Skawaji, and Windowland.
But yeah.
And dare I say this,
What's the
Mandriva
all right?
flag
What's the
is
difference between the one on the top and the one on the bottom?
so Kaniwa, Ina, and Mandriva.
But yeah, anyways.
Are the flags on the screen? So you're talking about like Kaniwa, Ina, and Mandriva. So like, in terms of design, Kaniwa Ina is more appealing, but Mandriva's is more like designy and has more stuff on it, with like the 8-pointed star and the shades of blue in the back.
I see.
But Kaniwa Ina's is more visually appealing than Mandriva's. Trust me. Like, if Mr. M happens to be on this stream right now, Mandriva's flag is pretty nice. I just kind of prefer Kaniwa Ina.
But yeah. I'm gonna try to convert.
Also, by the way, if any of you have no idea what I'm talking about, Pastry will get the flags up in a second.
Yeah.
And even if you have no idea from the flag map, the region map actually and city map actually labels the nations.
Are you sure these are PNGs? These are not PNGs.
They are, though, aren't they?
They're not. No wonder they don't work. Can you go ahead and convert them into JPEGs, actually?
Yeah, I can convert them into JPEGs.
Thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys, girls, and in between us. It's just like a very weird ass. Yeah. Anyways, so like, I know that you draw stuff for it. Let's see here. I'm gonna open up your DeviantArt. Is it chill if I show some stuff from there too?
Also, I just realized I forgot to put Juno's maritime borders.
Oh no! You just realized that now?
No, they're there in the original like thingamabob. I just forgot to send the one where Juno has, the maritime border. I might be misremembering. I hope not. I really hope not. Oh yeah, Juno's maritime border is there.
Let's see if this works. Yep. So your weird ass files. No wait. So your weird ass files. Oh, just so you know, I pulled up the one from like your drawing from like Sleep Swirl, the debate one. I pulled it up. Pulled up the debate one. Why don't you go ahead and explain this?
So basically, the debate thing, what that is, so basically, there's currently an arc going on with Hallenser, because I've never written anything with them before. What happened is, this is actually based off of, the Hallenser actually used to be a nation from an RP, in which Mr. M got into drama with and said the N-word over, but
wow!
And it's because the Hallenser invaded his stupid little nation and committed genocides against stickmen. So what happened? So in lore, Hallenser got taken over by a dictator in the 80s, and that dictator just so happens to be incredibly racist towards Mandrevans. And before the dictator, hundreds of thousands of Mandrevans had actually moved into Hallenser. And then, there were over, like, hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of Hallensea's Mandrevans. And then the dictator, named Alexander J. Leonard, he ordered a genocide against almost every single one, which ended up with 500,000 dead, which then severely pissed off Mr. M, and which led to a debate in which every nation was involved, and it ended up with Mandriva, Mr. M's nation, declaring war, and Mr. W's nation, Wendowland, also declaring war. Hello?
Yep, I'm here. Wait, are you saying hello to me?
Yes.
All
so
right,
the drawing is of a specific moment where Marcus Mr. M, I am so sorry.
You're good.
Mr. M got incredibly pissed during a speech or something and banged his fist on a table so hard it spooked Rascal. And then I also wrote some lore for that. But,
fair enough.
Alright.
But yeah, well, alright, let's see. Do you have the maps uploaded on DeviantArt? For whatever reason, it's letting me take stuff off of DeviantArt, but not Discord.
Yes, I have the maps uploaded on DeviantArt. Let me just check the maritime border map. Hopefully Juno's borders are there.
Okay,
I
see, let's see here.
I really hope they are.
Let's see here. I see the city and region map.
Okay, so good. Juno has its maritime borders.
Oh, and now I see, like, both. Let's see here. Save image. And after I go ahead and, like, have all these saved, why don't you go ahead and explain the lore of each flag?
So, the flags don't really have much lore. So basically, Mandriva's flag, so...
Just so you know, I'm starting to cover up both of us because of these maps. But I think it's worth it. Anyways.
So, I don't really know the meaning of Mandriva's flag, because Mr. M actually created the original flag. I don't know its meaning. Gooberstan, I don't know its meaning, but Gooberstan is a blue background with its coat of arms. KWK, the white field in the crown is symbolic of the king. The red and green, I believe, is symbolic of its military or something. The yellow is also representative of the monarchy, and the purple is representative of its I'll just say, I guess, I think military. Hallenser's black. There is no real meaning behind the Hallenser flag. I guess it was just created with the black, purple, and white by, I believe, the rack because it looked cool. Sardinia? I mean, I could probably contact Compact OSM for this, because I don't really know. Windowland is, I believe it's fork. The quad color is representing windows. The, symbol in the middle is representative of the monarchy, aka, Mr. W himself. Skawaji, I believe the blue represents the skies, the white, I'm not sure what it represents, and the yellow border is representative of the entire country. Sleep Swirl, the green represents hypnosis, which is an important part of Sleep Swirl's culture, and I believe the swirl also means hypnosis.
Fair enough.
I don't know the meaning behind Juno. The Nordic cross on the Coman Isles flag, which you can't really see, is it represents Christianity. Yes, Christianity exists in Goober Canyon. Kaniawaina, I don't know it, so I guess I'll just pull something out of my brain. The white represents the snow. The light blue represents ice, and the blue represents the sea.
I see. And like, did you pull this like shape of this continent from like a real life continent, or
no,
did you just
what I
generate it?
used? There's this website called there's this fantasy map generator website in which I used it to generate a map for Goober Canyon. I guess you probably could call that a world building website, but it's not like for world building. It's for like fantasy map generating, but you could say that.
What website is it, and did it cost any money?
No, it did not cost any money.
And then, like, what website is it? If you can grab me the link.
It's called Asgard. It's called Asgard's Fantasy Map Generator, and Mr. M also used it for False South.
But yeah, let's see. But yeah, so like, since I'm gonna go ahead and take this show a few steps back and be like, so how was the process of making this lore? Like, what steps did it take?
Usually I think of an idea, I run it up with the community. If it's a yes or no, I do it, and then I start drawing the actual idea, and then I post it to DeviantArt and write all the lore in the description. Also, I don't use any AI like ChatGPT or Bard or whatever. I use my brain.
That's good. But yeah, but yeah, so like, have you ever had to like toss out plot lines because they weren't either good enough or they were like, I don't know. Have you ever had to toss out storylines, and if so, why?
Not like, pretty rarely I toss out storylines. But they weren't like storylines, they were more scrapped ideas. Like for the first post, aka the one where the ship gets blown up by Mandriva, originally it was just going to be instead of it being sold to the KWK to add to their naval fleet, instead it was supposed to be I was thinking of it being a operational ship, just going to Leonidas, which is a city in the KWK, for like supplies and stuff like that, before getting blown up by the Mandrevans.
So like, and then, all right. Do you have Goober Cannon Pastry? Wait,
Goober Cannon
on
Pastry,
hand.
their Goober Cannon Pastry, or their name is Pastrius. They do exist. They just haven't been introduced yet.
Oh, so would it be a spoiler if I were to go ahead and pull it up?
Pull what up?
Rias.
The image?
Yeah, can you go ahead and send me Rias again?
Yes, I am perfectly fine with that. Let me just find the actual Rias image.
But
so,
yeah.
I never. Okay, I think I might have exported it as a PNG. I'll do JPEG.
All right, I'm gonna see if the. Wait, I think I might have like figured out what the issue was. It does not like it whenever. Oh wait.
This is the JPEG.
Also, can you go ahead and explain the lore of like the character that's next to me?
Oh boy, do I have the story to tell.
Yes.
So the character next to the character next to Rias, his name is Yosef Saria. He is a communist. He is the leader of the Workers' Party of Mandriva, or the WPM for short. And they really do not like Marcus. Like, they despise him.
Mr. M, remember.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
So, the WPM has a member base of about 50,000. They really do not like Mr. M. So, Yosef, their leader, he used a area where Mr. M was going to use as a speech to give a communist speech, and then he ended up bribing a bunch of officials and policemen to not arrest him, which ended up working. Mr. M proceeded to fire all of those people from seats of government because they didn't arrest him. And now they still hate each other. And then, what happens? Rias drunkenly goes from Sleep's World to Mandriva and ends up meeting Yosef and also the commander-in-chief of the KWK's military, Morgan Robert Slug, or MR Slug. Slug's character ends up agreeing with this without the king's permission. And they end up going together. All three of those ragtag teams. MR Slug doesn't go himself, but he did send a bunch of KWK soldiers. And then they found the building where Marcus was at. They burst down the doors, shot anyone they saw, until they met Marcus.
Or Mr. M.
Mr. M. Mr. M was forced to give up power, and then Yosef and Rias assumed power, like both of them. And then Mr. M was thrown in prison.
And this is future lore.
Yes.
And I forgot, what is my country gonna be called?
The Republic of the Republic of Tartland.
The Republic of Tartland. And can you send me the flag for that too? I figured out
So Tartland doesn't have a flag yet.
Okay. Wait, would you want me to create it?
You can create it if you want.
Alright. But yeah. Let's see. let's see. And then what's the plans for like the green stuff? Like the green unclaimed land?
Oh, I'm not sure if I have any plans yet, but before Mr. M gets overthrown by a drunk person and a communist,
Drunk person and a communist. It sounds like a start of a joke or
sounds like
something.
a sitcom. It sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Like
So a
drunk
drunk.
person, communist, and some of the most advanced soldiers of the King's Wacky military, ready to raise hell and eviscerate anyone they see. That sounds like a sitcom, doesn't it?
Yep.
But like the soldiers don't have any power. It's more drunk person and communist. The KW the KWK or the soldiers of the KWA or King's Wacky Army. So the KWA, they were just there to help overthrow Marcus because they really didn't like him. They only have good relations with him for the sake of having no enemies, and one day they were going to snap.
So
And
like,
but before this,
so how long did it take for you to like find the designs for the flags you made?
oh, I didn't design any of them.
So who all
The
did?
only flags which I could say were designed for Goober Cannon were, I believe, Kaniwa-ina, Juno, Sleep Swirl, Skawaji, I think Windowland, and Koman.
But yeah, I'm just kind of curious what's gonna happen with the unclaimed land.
So, I'm not sure what to do with the unclaimed land, but here's something land related. So, before Mr. M, I keep slipping, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Before Mr. M gets overthrown, they discover a new continent, and they start making, like, almost every single nation starts making colonies there.
But yeah, so they're going to go ahead and like, so are you gonna have Rias go ahead and like stumble upon the new one?
Probably not Rias.
Oh man,
Rias, I don't think he even gets involved until the whole Mr. M gets overthrown arc.
No, I do find it funny how like Rias is known as this drunkard, and then like Pastry, the original Pastry is known for being extremely sober. But yeah, oh man, but yeah.
I could just imagine like a sitcom on somewhere like Comedy Central, and it's probably called like The Drunkard and the Commie.
The drunkard and the commie. But yeah, I have a question. So, do you have any other lore ideas that you're going to ever entertain in the future?
I mean, there was one which I haven't exactly gone through yet, but overwhelmingly voted yes. So you know how Mr. M is a dictator.
Yep.
So I was gonna have it where like everyone doesn't know this, but only people in government do. So Mr. M has these people called these scheming generals, known by like those who know them are known as they're known as the scheming generals, but to everyone else, they're called the I don't have a name for them officially yet. I'll just maybe call them the fucking the young Mandrevans or something. I don't know. So,
So would this be like a spin-off?
no. What the scheming generals are. So if this ever goes through, Mandriva's government is kind of like a hierarchy where there's classes and stuff. At the bottom, there's the puppets, as you might say, which are government officials, etc., who are basically controlled by the scheming generals. And then at the you could say middle, but it's more like top, like, or around the top, the scheming generals who control the government. And at the very top is Mr. M, who if he wants to, he can control the scheming generals, but he doesn't want to. And this isn't like, ooh, Mandrivan hypnosis. This isn't like hypnosis or anything. This is like, just like, there's like a system of people who control the government, and they can also be controlled by the dictator.
So
blah blah blah.
I have a question. So, like, how realistic is Goober canon? Like, is it completely fantasy, or is there like real elements to it?
There are real elements to this, like the tech being around, like, the date range of tech is 1938 to 1941. So, however,
like,
there are
like some type of history, like some like type of history.
There are also some not so exactly real parts. Like, I believe this is also partly Rascal's idea. Like, hypnosis being a major part of EB Sleepy culture, and also the fact hypnosnakes canonically exist.
Also, I pulled up another picture of Yosef. Which I want to ask, like, what would happen to Yosef once Rias is in charge?
I mean, I think this is like, no, it's not like Rias or Yosef in charge. It's like more like there's like two people as like leader.
So would Rias overthrow Yosef as well?
No. I also had the idea in which maybe Yosef would try to convert Rias to communism.
And Rias is probably gonna be like, oh, hell no. Fuck that shit.
I mean, would Rias?
Rias is me, and I'd be like,
I guess you could say, like, hell no to communism.
I'm gonna do like, what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah. So, how much mental energy does it take to create such a complicated lore as this?
It doesn't really take, like, much mental strength to create something like this.
Just like
it's really
stamina.
Easy. It's really easy.
And then, as far as, like, so, like, what's your, like, have you ever considered creating, Goober Canon, like, an official comic, or no?
Yes, I have actually considered creating Goober comics.
And, think they'll ever, like, think you'll, like, put them on, like, Webtoon or something?
I don't know.
But yeah, let's see here. What other lore things do you feel like was important to know as far as Goober Canon goes?
I don't know.
But yeah, yeah.
So does the show end at 8?
So do you think there's ever gonna be like Goober Canon animations too?
Maybe once it gets popular.
Like, does it have a YouTube channel, or is it using
Yeah,
yours?
yes, it does. But it's like, oh, it has a YouTube channel, but it's not like just Goober. It's not like Goober Canon lore. It's more like just like songs from Goober Canon.
Wait, there's songs too.
Yes, there's songs, but it's like, hold on. Do you want me to send the channel? Cause it's called King's Wacky Muzak.
Sure. But yeah. Um. But yeah. Do you think that you're ever gonna like create a villain lore for your like a thing?
So one of the ideas of Goober Canon is like there are no villains stand in where how you feel morally. Like you could probably say someone like Yosef or Leonard is a villain, but if you can also say someone like
I would just say Rias is just a drunk fuck.
Goober Canon or villain,
But yeah.
where you morally stand. It's like you could say someone like Leonard or Yosef is a villain, or someone like Savannah or Wominen is a villain.
So you'd say it depends on like what side, like basically like it's a multi-sided realm where like there's no designated good guy or villain.
So if you're wondering what Suwominen is, it's a last name for Mr. S in Goober Canon.
I wasn't wondering that, but okay. Sorry if that sounded mean, but I wasn't what I was saying. But yeah, let's see.
Sorry, my Discord started freaking out.
You're good, man. But thank you for
Did
the
you?
information. So my next question is like, how much is the lore? How much of the lore is centered around the characters, and how much of the lore is centered around the map?
Some lore is centered on like some pieces of lore are centered on characters. Others are centered like on like the map, aka like political stuff.
And I know that you said that you're not planning on to make money off of Goober Cannon specifically, but
Yeah,
do you think you'd ever be like up to go ahead and like do you think you'd ever want to go ahead and like be paid to create a lore or no?
I mean, I could get paid, but I would probably say no. Also, did you hear what I said about Suominen, like the last name?
Yes, I did.
Alright, also, I'm gonna be right back, if that's okay.
Alrighty, just let me know approximately how long.
I'll probably be back in maybe, like, a couple minutes.
Alrighty, you're good, man. But yeah, so, as, like, a recap, there's this entire, like, country universe with, like, leaders and everything, whatnot, where we basically go ahead and, I don't know, where, like, I guess the, heroes are, or not heroes, I guess, like, the country leaders are, like, characters of this one, like, lore piece, and, yeah. Just so you guys know, like, this lore this lore is owned by a friend group, and the friend group, is mostly intact. I happened to join in late, so I guess that's the reason of why I don't have a country. But yeah, just so you know, they decided to go ahead and like do like a pastry version for their like little story lore, so that it's not necessarily like pastry, but like it's Reus. But yeah, I do find it interesting how there's like so much different like pieces of like how there's not necessarily like a good side and a bad side when it comes to this, but there's like um it could be like taken across multiple different like angles. I would love to see this as an animation. um I guess this episode could also be considered like plot building too. um but yeah, so like yeah, um anyways, I do find it
I'm back.
oh yeah, I was just talking about my thoughts on like Goober Cannon, but yeah. Anyways, so
All right.
yeah, just about like how I would like to see it like an animation short of it or whatever whatnot. Like there's so many different ways. There's so many different ways that something like this could be like taken. Like you could go ahead and make it into a comic, make it into a comic, TV show series, movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like how much of a learning curve is lore building for you? Like how much of a learning curve? Wait, I should add that to the crap. I should seriously add that to the default questions. I swear, I come up with a new question every season for this preset questions. Anyways, continue.
So,
As
I'm not sure it's exactly like a learning curve. It's just like, how much stuff do I need to learn for this?
like how steep is the learning curve for lore building? Like you said before how you had like crappy lores in the beginning, but yeah.
So it was like learning curve, like you go from like bad writing to good writing.
Just like the learning curve of like how long does it take for you to get good?
I mean, it takes maybe like a couple days. Maybe no, at most maybe like a couple hours to get good at writing.
What is that in like a compounded time or is it in like a consecutive time?
Well, it's like compounded time all at once.
Compounded time is basically like, let's say, so what I mean by this is like what I mean by this is like compounded time means like if you were to just take all the time it took to do something without like breaks or anything, whatever whatnot. So like if I say animation,
I would say like consecutive.
Let me continue with what I was saying, please. But so like if I were to say that a video takes me a week, then that is just like a week, as in like a week of just like working on it when I have time. Compounded time would be like if I were to think of every video of mine. I don't know if this is still true, but every video of mine takes like 10 hours consecutive time to go ahead and make.
I would say that like getting good at writing would probably take at least maybe a couple hours consecutive.
Alrighty. But yeah, and
also by any chance, what time does this stream show end?
We have about a half an hour left.
Alright.
But yeah, but yeah, so with, let's see here, I want to ask you more about like lore building in general, not like get away from the Goober Cannon stuff for a bit, and just ask you things on lore building in general.
For a second, you were like cutting out a bit. What'd you say?
So All right, so basically, I would like to go ahead and ask you more questions on like a more of like lore building and less about like your
Yeah.
specific lore. Like, have you ever considered so what's your thoughts on like joke lores? Like lures that aren't taken
I mean,
seriously but just like but they're just like the haha what if?
joke lores, like what ifs.
Just like so like for me I've done like just like kind of like with like a friend of mine I've done like what would we do if we all were pirates in a pirate ship, just like silly little goofy lores that don't really have any rhyme or reason. They're just there
Yes,
just because.
occasionally I think of those in my head. Occasionally.
um there's I definitely know somebody who have built a not channel appropriate lore about about like people on my channel, but it's kind of a off the channel joke though. But yeah. Have you ever considered like doing like a lore with one setting, such as like a I don't know, like a medieval lore or a scientific or like a sci-fi lore or like any sort
No,
of
not
other
exactly.
lores?
Not exactly.
Um, because like I know with I feel like I feel like with Goober Cannon, you have like two sides of the lore. You have like you have like the character side, and then you have the side with a map.
Yes.
Um, and I do find that interesting. But like how? But if you were to go, or if you were to make an animation, like how much would it be on the characters, and how much would it be on the map?
I'd probably do a lot of stuff. I'd probably do some stuff for like characters. Occasionally, I would do maybe some Yeah, occasionally I would probably do map parts,
All right, so like
but I
basically,
would do stuff with characters, of course.
and out of all of your Goober Cannon characters, who is your favorite?
My favorite Goober character, probably not Mr. M. I would probably say either Yosef, Rius, or Rapscallion.
Um, I'm honestly gonna say Rius.
So like
Cover.
character if we're talking about like leaders of actual countries, it would most likely be Rius. I mean not Rius, like currently leaders of a country, I'd probably say Rapscallion would be my favorite leader. But if we're talking about like leaders of other things like parties or like coups, probably Yosef or Rius.
Yeah. Um. Good morning, Astro. Anyways, but yeah. Astro, do you have any questions for Ghost on like lore building? Let's see here. What other things? So, if you were to create a second lore, like if you were to go ahead and like create another lore from the ground up, what would that lore be about? And and do you think it takes different skills to go ahead and make different kinds of lores?
For me, it doesn't exactly take different skills for different lores. But like if I were to make a separate canon and build it from the ground up, I don't know exactly what it'd be about. Like I could do it, but like what would it be about if even if it's like tied into Goober Canon or if it's completely different completely different.
I was asking
I
about
don't
completely
know.
separate, but you know.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, so so are you planning on to do Goober Canon until you get bored of it? Or is there like a specific timeline that
Am I,
Goober Canon's gonna end?
wait, your mic did a funny what?
Alright, so is there like a specific time that Goober Canon will end, or
No.
Um, or will it just be until you get bored of it?
Probably until I get bored of it.
And yeah, can I go ahead and list off things that I would like to see?
Yeah.
I would like to see all right, I'm gonna pull up the map again. I took them down just because I didn't want to take them. I didn't want to forget to take them off after the show. But you see how there's like a. I know I keep on mentioning this, but you want to
The empty part.
I want to see like what happens with the green space.
I don't exactly know.
Um, like I would like to see and I would like to see also like more like not necessarily like wars, but like I would like to see like how the boundaries might shift if if like imagine if you had Arius. Imagine if you had Arius deciding to stumble upon the green area or like the unmarked area and like what just like making an entire lore about the like I don't want to be like necessarily like one of your co-creators or anything, but I'm just like wondering what would happen if we had like a mini like forest lore of like the
Like
unclaimed area.
on flame territory.
Yep. Because it seems kind of odd how like half of it like I technically like how and also what is the country that is on the other side of the unclaimed land?
On the other side of the unclaimed land, like, so which one?
Um like the one that's by the ocean.
Is it green or blue?
It's blue.
What does it have
Your mic went all weird, but I
on it?
was able.
Does it have a cat? Does it have your mic? What?
Your mic fucked up there for a sec. But anyways,
probably my end. So, what?
But yeah, so there's this like one area without any like symbols on it. It's just like the
Yellow band and stars.
no. So like I said on the other side.
Oh. So does it have a cat on it?
Nope. Let me go ahead and. You want me to? No. So like, I said on the other side of the green land, the country that is all by themselves. The country that's all by themselves.
Island country.
With like the white and the very light blue and the dark blue.
Oh, that's Kaneowaina.
Okay. And why is it so separated?
The white, the very light blue and dark blue. Yeah, that's Kaneowaina.
Why is that like so separated from everything else?
I don't exactly know.
Let's see. King is stupid. Oh man, why are y'all being so rude to King on the show?
Wait, what's going on?
Bro, King, wrap it up. Alright. But yeah,
Let me look. Who's saying this?
It is A24JAK.
Oh. So
talk about
A24.
Coleman Isles.
Oh, soon. Oh, Coleman Isles. Okay, so A24 Jack, they want me to wrap it up quick, but like I'm not going to. I'm gonna probably wrap it up by 8:30 because A24 Jack, aka Mr. Zombie, and a bunch of other people, they're gonna play Zeppelin Wars in a quick second.
Alright, but yeah.
So
remember you said that you were gonna be on the show until like My
Yeah,
6:30.
8:30. Like, yeah, you're 6:30. So,
Also,
compact,
let me go ahead and
compact request that.
let me go ahead and continue. All right. So, now that the rest of the crew of Goober Cannon is here, please go ahead and feel free to bring up plot points that King should mention in these last 15 minutes.
So I guess the other people that may be here that are associated with Goober Cannon, Rascal, Compact, and Cat potentially. So, okay, so from Compact's request, I should talk about the Coman Isles. The Coman Isles is this little island nation next to
Oh, can you please repeat that last word?
Kaniwa-Ina,
It got
in which
weird.
it's like, so,
Can you go ahead and repeat that?
my mic?
Yep, it got weird again.
So, the Coman Isles is this island nation next to Kaniwa-Ina, which is based off of islands like Hawaii, Samoa, Fiji, etc. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just listening.
The Coman Isles. Coman Isles speaks a language similar to Kaniwa-Ina, but I don't think they're the same language. However, Coman Isles, they speak English. It's just their native languages are spoken way more than English, and English is only spoken in governments and stuff like that. Kaniwa-Ina is based off of Hawaii and other places like that, but there isn't much lore written about them yet.
Brody says how he's in Goober Cannon, but he doesn't have a country. I know, I don't have a country yet either. But yeah.
So some people in Goober Cannon don't have nations, e.g. Brody. But I don't know. Also, hi y'all. So if Zombie is still there and everyone in the coffee shop VC is still here, I will most likely be wrapping up by 8:30 or my time, aka in about 13 minutes.
But yeah. Anyways, continue with what you were saying.
Okay, Compact, would you like to say anything else?
I mean, there's a country that I made, but it's on the ripoff one. We're not gonna talk about the the pronoun.
Yeah, we're not.
The pronoun islands.
We are not talking about False South much here.
It's because, yeah, we don't want to start anything on this channel with another channel. But yeah, same. But yeah, anyways, so what other plot lines haven't you talked about?
I don't know.
Also, I kind of want to see a country just be complete desert. Just complete desert.
So if we take a look at the city and region map, Pastry, pull that up, please. If you are able to.
All right, was it the Oh yeah, the city and region. Yep, there we go.
Yes. So there's this area known as the Vista Desert, which has parts in Gooberstan, Hallensa, and Windowland. It's small, but it's there.
And are you gonna I know there's lore about the leaders, but think you'll ever do lore about the citizens? Just random old citizens?
I mean, probably. Like, one of Mr. M's friends, who I'll just call, I'll just call them Ida, because I don't really want to, like, mention any of Mr. M's friends here. But Mr. M once got me into a GC with Ida, and, Ida talked about how Goober Canon doesn't really have anything focusing on citizens. It's more like the political stuff with, like, wars and stuff like that. And, like, that his thing, which we'll just call the birth defect universe, which is where, everyone is, like, different because they have, like, mutations. Mr. M is in there, and he has 4 ears.
Wait, 4
and stuff like
ears?
that. So he was talking. Ida was talking to, like, this is about, like, Ida's series, which I'll just call the birth defect universe. So it's basically a bunch of Ida's friends are in this, and it's also, like, world building, and everyone, and there's, like, humans, and then there's the, like, people with mutations, like people with, like, extra limbs and stuff like that, people with, like, 4 ears. Yeah, Marcus is in there. He has 4 ears, or people with, like, more than 10 fingers and stuff like that.
All right, and
how, like, the message is, you don't, even if you're different, you can still be yourself. Something like that. Something along the lines of that in the birth defect universe.
All right, just so you know, Brody Man asks.
And
there needs to
he
be
was talking about how Goober Canon doesn't really have a message, other than like the whole, like, it's where you stand part.
But wait, who is Jeff?
Jeff?
We need more lore of Steph from Goober Stan.
And, like, me and I were in a conversation about the birth defect universe and Goober Canon.
I see. But yeah, I want to ask you before, like, the time is up, but what is your favorite part about creating Goober Canon?
Writing lore, and also, like voting on things with the community.
Oh yeah, can you go ahead and explain more of the voting parts?
Something that I really like is also drawing the actual pieces for it. So, what were you about to say?
I forgot what I was gonna say, so go ahead and continue.
I don't exactly know anymore.
I just crashed YouTube, but that's beside the point. Oh, let's see. But yeah, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. But, like, are you ever gonna, like, create, like, lores about life inside of each country, or no?
Probably.
And
originally,
continue.
There's also, like, an idea that I had, but I probably might not do. I don't know. So, you know how, like, this is mostly Rascal's idea, but, like, hypno snakes exist in Goober Canon.
Yes.
I was gonna have it where there was gonna be, like, a post about them, like, and about, like stuff like that. Also, regular animals do exist, and, like, this is basically just, like, Goober Canon Earth. It's literally just Earth, like, same planet, same system, same everything, except tech-wise it's been pushed back, and hypnosis, like, hypnosnakes exist, and, well, there's now, the continents are different, and now there's only, like, 11 known countries.
Stop! Stop trying to end the show early, guys. Sorry.
Is it A24? Is it zombie?
It's radical. I'm gonna. If you. Let's hear. I'm gonna go ahead and time you out if you don't stop complaining about how long your show is.
Okay. So, Compact and Zombie. I will be joining VC in 5 minutes. Just be really patient, please.
But yeah, anyways, what is your favorite part about... So you said your favorite part was, like, creating lore, right?
Yes.
Hello, Metal Health, let's see here, but yeah, I'm joking, don't worry. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start with, I'm gonna start with closing announcements for the show now to make sure we have enough time for everything. So, like, when I mean like closing announcements, like I want to, so during closing announcements, it's when we go ahead and like say what we are going to go ahead and what are you planning on to do with your channel in the near future? Like either channel.
With Goober Cannon or the channel?
Your channel. Just like anything about your channel.
Most likely, I will occasionally use the Yas Kerchow channel, but most likely I'm going to focus more on KWM.
KWM?
Yeah.
But yeah, alright, yeah, so as far as my closing announcements go, I'm probably not gonna get my April Fool's Day video done on time, but I still want to do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say that, it's a channel tradition for me to go ahead and, do like a someone joke of... Continue.
Pastry.
Yes.
Do you have anything games like Roblox or Minecraft?
I'm gonna answer that after the show. I wanna go ahead and like focus on ending the show right now.
Wait, what? Could you repeat that?
I'm going to. I'm. Like, you literally interrupted me like saying my closing announcements for things that don't even involve the show.
I'm sorry.
We're still on air. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so before this is gonna probably go on a little longer than 6:30 because I need to still do my channel announcements, but basically I'm gonna go ahead and do like I'm gonna do like a April Fool's Day special where basically like jokingly have someone else take over the channel like I did like the first 3 years of having this channel. I'm not gonna say who and how yet, but I'm just gonna say that tradition is still gonna be holding open. It's just I've been so busy lately to where like it's been like nearly impossible to do most things. And yeah. Next week is gonna be audio games with... Hold on. I'm gonna pull up my calendar. Let's see here. Next week is gonna be audio games with... Holy cow, we're in April already. The legendary Nobody, so I hope everyone tunes in for that. And yeah. Do you have an outro, King?
No, not really. Also, by the way, can I say this?
Yes.
I'm sorry for like interrupting you because like I've never been on a stream show before, and I'm kind of new to this.
You're good, man. Most people are. you're good. Most people are new to this that I bring on. Most people have never seen a stream show before I've brought them on. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna say my outro and then I'm gonna talk to you for a few off the stream. I tend to do that. I tend to do that a lot, but yeah. Anyways, I platonically love you, Mud Donut Batch.